I often get told that I work hard, um, and I just can't help but feel it just rubs me up the wrong way when I hear that stuff. I do appreciate the compliment. I do appreciate where the comment comes from. It comes from a very good place. But when I hear that, I just automatically think about guys who are working harder than me. Last night, it occurred to me again, so I looked it up again. And for the second time in a few months, I shut myself again when I saw what I saw. Mike Tyson is a special individual. We all know his history. We all know his antics and all this sort of stuff, out of the ring kind of trouble and whatever. But I had a look at his training log again last night, kind of like a little snippet of what he did that kind of led him to be who he is. The amount of work this man did is astonishing. Absolutely astonishing, the amount of work he did. I just can't help but think, if you were to put that much work into any craft in life, any job in life, you're going to be the best in some form or fashion. He did so much damn work. So just to give you guys an example of what he did. So he'd wake up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning every morning and go for a 10K jog. And then he would have like 3 or 4 training sessions throughout the day, which included in total 2,000 squats every single day, 5 days a week. He took Saturday and Sunday off from squatting. He did countless amount of tricep extensions, push-ups, a lot of neck work, sparring, bag work, and all of that. But the thing that I kind of took out of that was the 2,000 squats. This is something that I basically know about. I have an intuition about what a bodyweight squat is. I don't really have an intuition about how it is to hit a bag or spar or whatever. That's not my field. But so this man is not a squatter. This man is a boxer, and he does 2,000 squats every day. He also said that he never really did any weights until he was kind of halfway through his career. So he became the youngest heavyweight champion of the world just by basically doing bodyweight stuff. Just that alone I find very, very interesting. But 2,000 squats every day is absolutely insanity. So this morning I couldn't wait to kind of wake up and get into the training. And I decided to go for a run. And yes, I have not run for a very long time. Some of you guys have asked me, do you run? I don't run, but I did today. And yes, as expected, it was a struggle. I ran like a boxer. It wasn't for time or anything. But I put 2 kilometers in, and I got that in 13 something minutes, which is 6 minutes something, for a kilometer, which, just for your reference, the world record for a marathon is the pace is usually like 2 minutes something, per kilometer. That just gives you like an appreciation of what the world runners do. But anyway, I went for a run, came back, and I was absolutely naked. My calves were basically incredibly sore to a point like that it was the back kind of sore. My Achilles got so tight that I was like, okay, I can't squat. So then I decided to do the squats. I ended up doing 5 sets of 50. That almost murdered me. I wanted to quit right there. You can see there my heels are raising because my Achilles is just so busted. My calves are so busted from the run. I have basically next to no dorsiflexion in my ankle. So yeah, 5 sets of 50 squats is insanity. It's only 250 squats. This man did 2,000, man. 2,000 squats a day. I don't work hard, man. I do not work hard. Next time you think to yourself, should I work out or not? Take a look at the training log of these champions that walk around on our planet. Take a look at peak of what they do, man. You will be ashamed to think that you train. We don't train, man. We do not train. I get it. We're not professional athletes. But let's do a quarter of what they do. It's astonishing how hard they work. Mike Tyson is a very special person. Now, I want to explain to you why I say this. Normal people, every day, your average Joe, can't do 2,000 squats per day. Not because they physically can't do it. It's because of the mentality that it takes to do that. That is a lot of work, and normal mentalities, normal kind of mental health cannot put you through that much pain. You need to be in a dark place to be able to put that much work in. You need to be driven like a maniac. And a lot of people have said that Mike Tyson is mentally unwell. But that work is insanity. Do 2,000 squats per week. He does 2,000 squats times 5. Oh, goodness me. So, this is probably one of the hardest workouts I've had, definitely this year and definitely for a while. Even the pig squat wasn't like this. The run was hard because of the calves. The breathing was all right, but the calves were really busting me. And the 5 times 50 squats murdered me. But I had such a crazy pump through the quad, and I had just systemic lethargy from doing this. That the squats, the barbell squats was just, I ended up getting to 180 kilos somehow, but it was a struggle. It was an absolute struggle. And I feel tomorrow I'm going to be very, very sore. But I just keep thinking to myself, I don't care what you do, what your profession is, what your sport is. There needs to be a level of conditioning about the athlete. You need to be able to have the capacity to do said work. Now, strength and conditioning are related. I had a chat to somebody in the comments, I think it was yesterday, about strength and conditioning in relationship. Does strength carry over to conditioning? Does conditioning carry over to strength? Absolutely. If you are more of a conditioned athlete, if your reserve is larger, you can put more work in, you can recover quicker. Therefore, you can do the strength work to a greater volume and therefore get stronger. So it's kind of like putting petrol in, and then the strength work, so the conditioning is putting the fuel in, and then the strength work is using that fuel to get where you want to go. So the reason why I feel like I should take a leaf or a page out of Mike Tyson's book is because, I need conditioning. And in order for me to do more and more work, which is required to do more and more work and more and more weight, you need to increase the conditioning. One of the reasons why the pig squat is such an interesting concept is because you need conditioning. You need conditioning. Like I can do 140 kilos for a set of 15 probably when I just do that. But when I get around to it, 140 times whatever 8 is freaking hard work, man. It is a buster, right? But if I had supreme conditioning, I could get through that, no worries. It's just all the preceding sets completely waste you, and you can't really put forth the effort that you have. So the two are very, very much related. Now, we all know Mike Tyson had incredible hip power. He had incredible just power in general. And when you think to yourself what kind of work he did, the amount of repetitions that he did, one has to conclude that high rep work will get you stronger. There seems to be this division within the community that only 1, 2, and 3 reps will get you strong. Everything will get you strong, man. The research says that if you do a set of 50, it's not just the slow muscle fibers that are getting worked. Everything is getting worked. So we need to rethink how we approach. I think if you're a beginner, definitely spend a lot of your time most of your time doing high rep work. By the way, this is 180. Just notice how slow it is up. I just have nothing in the tank. I'm feeling here big time. Actually, the re-rack, I felt like this was also difficult. Like my quads was just trembling at this point. But yeah, so I think if you're a beginner, you need to spend most of your time doing reps. And if you're somebody like me, also I think you need to do more reps. You don't have to put a barbell on. I think the bodyweight squat is actually harder than the first 50% of your 1 rep max, because it requires mobility. It just basically tells you that you're not mobile enough. It forces you to work on your mobility as well. So bodyweight squats are amazing. If it's good enough for Mike Tyson, it's good enough for me. And I feel, there's no way of knowing this, I feel Mike Tyson had a better squat than 200 kilos when he was in his prime. He was a muscle unit. Sure, he didn't have the neural efficiency that I have because I practice this every day, but the sheer amount of volume underneath his belt in terms of the squats, I think he had a lot of strength there if he was to kind of peak for powerlifting competition. So I think there's a lot of value. Now, you need to be very, very careful how you approach the volume of bodyweight squats. So tomorrow I'm not going to do any, maybe I'll do a set or something, but I need to be very, very careful how I auto-regulate myself. But for the near coming future, I'm going to do a lot of bodyweight squats, and you're going to see a lot of this from me because I want to increase the conditioning, and I basically want to put more reps under my belt and I'll do it through this fashion. I feel like it's very valuable. The running basically came about because of Mike Tyson, but also it came about with this idea that I'm doing calf raises. I thought to myself, I was watching a video and Mike Tyson was jogging, and he's jogging kind of like shuffling. He's not running like a marathon runner, like heel striking. It's all on his toes. And I'm thinking to myself, how is that different to calf raises? It's not. You're just bouncing on your calves, and it's cardio. So I thought to myself, why don't I do that? Like, there's a lot more force through the calf and the Achilles complex when you're running versus when you are stationary and just you're raising up and down, because there's acceleration, there's gravity. You're basically in midair, and then you're falling onto your calf. So I think there's a lot more force, and I can definitely tell you right now that my Achilles and my calf is sore, but it's sore in a different position. Like in the calf raise, I feel like it's really kind of up in the belly of the muscle, but now it's kind of like really down low, like where the Achilles is. And a lot of you guys have trouble with dorsiflexion, and you guys try to roll out the Achilles, which is pretty much impossible because the Achilles is one of the toughest tendons in the body. So he needs a lot of repetitions and a lot of blood through there to actually give. So anyway, that's where the running came from. I thought, calf raises, why don't you just go for a run? How frequent I'm going to go for a run, I'm not sure yet. But I know I'm going to do bodyweight squats very, very frequently. It can be a part of my routine every day. And hopefully one day I can say that I can do 2,000 squats in one day. Now I think Mike Tyson split it up in like many different sessions throughout the day. Like he did 3 different sessions, which kind of like were kind of the same. You know, it would start off with bodyweight squats, and it would go into like tricep extensions, or push-ups, whatever he did. But I think I can't let a boxer squat more than me, man. Basically, I can't let a boxer squat more than me. I'm not doing the spar, I'm not doing anything else. I can't let him squat more than me, man. I need to have more repetitions under my belt than someone like him. He did it for conditioning. I'm going to do it for conditioning and specificity of the squat. Anyway, I'm just basically thinking out loud right now. I'm telling you guys exactly where I'm at mentally, what I'm trying to do. The GHD right here, if you guys noticed, I did 5 sets. I mean, you saw 3 sets, but I did end up doing 5 sets of 20. Murders, absolutely murdering me. The hamstrings are lit right now. But yeah, anyway, that's where I'm at right now, guys. Went for a run, bodyweight squats, barbell squats, and a whole lot of GHDs, and I'm spent. I'm absolutely spent, and I think I've learned something today. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.